Hello everybody and welcome back. I am Carix and we are going to be continuing on this beginner playthrough for Crusader Kings 3. We are playing as the Count Bazin of Provence, Count of Provence. Our liege is in a war. We are under the Kingdom of Italy right now, so we're protected by that umbrella as long as Italy stays strong. We don't know what's going to happen with Italy. Presumably there's a lot of Italy is on a macro scale is concerned about Francia, East and West and East, and Lotharingia, and what's going on with the Byzantine Empire, and all these other things that are going on a macro scale. And internally, we can kind of move about and slither through internally and try to unify some of our local area and sort of build up our power. Right now, we're just a count. We would like to become a duke. In fact, we can actually go in here and click on our titles. So in our character area, we can see that these are the titles we control. We control the county of Provence and we control this county as well. These are the ones we have. These are the claims that we have. In fact, we have a claim. Oh, we have a pressed claim on this province. So we have a reason, we have a cause for war to go here and unify this area. But if we click on let's just click on the county of Provence because it'll show us up here at the top, the de jure part of the county, the duchy of Provence, right? So in order, what does it take to form this? The Duchy of Provence. No one owns it right now. No one has it. Oh, wait, what? Holy cow. The King of Italy is holding on to the Duchy of Provence. But we could essentially usurp this for 250 gold. But we need 3 counties. In fact, I wonder if he would give it to us. I wonder if he would actually just give it to us. Maybe we need to actually butter him up, make him happy. What would it actually take to actually sway this guy and make him happy? Wow. Interesting. We could actually befriend. It'd be much harder to befriend him. Our rank is lower than Lewis's. Lewis does not see it as an opportunity to be friends with us. But it'd be interesting to see if he actually liked us a lot. I wonder if he would just give that to us. But either way, we can certainly take more land here. And actually have the rightful. We need 3 of the 4. There's 4 counties right now that make up the Duchy of Provence. We only have 2 of them. We need more than 50%. 50% is enough. We need 51%. So if we took this one, we would have 75%, which would be more than 50%. We'd rightfully be owed the Duchy of Provence. And I wonder if the king would just give that to us, or maybe we'd have to pay the 250 gold it said to usurp it. So, which also might get the King of Italy upset. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens with that. All right, so for the most part, I think we're ready to hit the spacebar and go, guys. And we're going to get a feel for what it feels like with the time moving. And as we can see, this first time word pausing, boom, January. Oh, something's happened. A little message has popped up. The game has auto-paused. We've gone through 3 days in game. That's right. I accept your marriage proposal. We have a bunch of marriage proposals that are going out right now. Boom, boom, boom. I'm sorry, Bonnie. So we have unfortunately divorced our wife. Things are moving and grooving. We do need to get married ourselves. Oh, we formed an alliance over here with this guy. Hey, we formed an alliance. One of the marriages actually led to an alliance. Fantastic. So let's make sure we go and get married. Let's get married. So when you're getting married, right, we could try to do it based on alliance power. Although it doesn't seem like anyone. Okay, so right now it's here, let's go back. It remembered that we had this set to inheritable traits. So let's get rid of the filters. We could search by alliance power. So we could click on this and we could see what we're doing here is we're looking at this number here. 250 levies. That's essentially the strength of their army. This guy's actually blind. That's actually kind of interesting. Which probably reduces his ability to fight, right? He's got -10 prowess. So he's got very low prowess. That doesn't matter either way, right? Because he doesn't lead his armies. He'll have commanders lead his army's force. This person, we could see 250 people as well. So we have about 350. So this isn't actually that weak, but it's really not that significant. If we were to click on someone like France, right? France has like 4,000 men that the king of France can levy at any moment to attack someone. So, and like the Kingdom of Italy, and we don't have to concern ourselves with these guys because we're operating on a different scale, right? But presumably you could marry someone, you could find spouse. I'm just going here to find spouse, but there's a button up here that says you are unmarried. And we could look for relevance. It's trying to say that Anna would be a good a good person. She's Amazonian, so our kids would likely inherit or could inherit these positive traits that increase their health and attraction and prowess. So we could have a bunch of little Hercules children, which could be kind of cool. She's really good in terms of intrigue as well, and some other things. So she could actually make us better at that. It's not really our specialty right now, to be honest. Either way, I am going to go in, and I think what is important is that we actually marry someone that has good genetics. So we could go through here and we could look for people that are intelligent. These intelligent people they gain more monthly lifestyle experience, which is incredible. They have more just general, they tend to just have higher amounts of just base skills. We can actually sort by the sum of skills, and you'll probably find people at the top that are intelligent or geniuses and things like of that nature. Some of these people, you could just go through and read these traits and see if they sound interesting. But these are genetic traits. These are inheritable traits. These mean that our kids are possibly, like we could have a bunch of children that are fecund. And that means that they have more fertility and more life expectancy. Having more life expectancy, that's incredible. It turns out that this person is a little ugly, though. So that's a little bit of a negative there. Oh, this is actually really interesting. This person right here, 21 years old, so she's definitely fertile. She's a genius. So she'd be very good at educating children. She's got all these positive traits for that, and our children could become geniuses. She's got a high stewardship skill. I would like to actually compliment and boost up our stewardship skill a little bit, because your wife can complement your own skills and help you out in the court. Yeah, you know what? That genius right there, that's a booyah. We're going to lose a little bit of prestige by doing this, though, because we're marrying someone that's unlanded. Oof. That hurts, because what was the thing we wanted to spend 300 prestige on? We wanted to change our culture. It is what it is. Let's just marry this person. She's a genius. And hopefully we'll have some genius children before we die. So ideally, and you know, one thing we might want to do is we might want to seduce our wife or romance our wife, so that we're more likely to actually get those kids going. You know what I mean? It's a 15 prowess guy. He's just showed up at our court. We have to click on the court here. So he's just arrived. He's not actually part of, we have to pay for him to join the court. We've invited him to come and feast in our halls, but we have to actually now convince him to stay. 20 gold to recruit this guy. He would be one of our best military champions if we actually recruited this guy. He'd also really like us for doing this. Wait, what? This guy would, are you kidding me? This was the guy that was granted the duchy of Provence. What a joke. He's offering us a position on his council. He wants us to be a chancellor. We are actually pretty good at diplomacy, so we'll probably do a good job with him there. 20 gold to recruit that guy. I don't know, it's kind of expensive. This guy's, man, I think we have to go to war with this dude, to be honest. We could do an independence war against him, but it will cost 75 prestige in order to go to war. So we have a claim on this thing, right? We noticed this earlier. We have a claim to this land. Let's make sure the game is paused. Whoops, was the game running in the background there? So we could right click on this dude and be like, you know what? I want this. I want this province. We have a claim to it. We have a rightful heritage to this land. This guy's now our duke. We want to be the Duke of Provence. No, no, no. This is not going to work for us. So we need to conquer this guy. We need to conquer this guy. We need to go in here and swoop this land. So we could either just become independent from him. Actually, he's the Duke of Provence, so I'm worried that he's gonna like be able to seize land from us. Like if we take this from him, I don't know what happens to the guy, to be honest. I don't know what happens to the guy. Like, I think he might try to occupy this land here and take that for himself and just kind of do a little bit of a ring around the rosy on us. This guy here, we can't attack because we don't have a casus belli on this dude. How could we get a casus belli on this guy? Well, we could do that over here by fabricating a claim. We could come here and have the church guy, 19 months, he'll have a claim on this, but it does cost money. It does cost money. That's something we could think about, right? We could think about. I don't know exactly what's going to happen if we fight our liege like that to take this land. Because he's our liege, he might just sort of move over. It'd be interesting if he moved over to here. Again, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. 20 gold to recruit this champion. He's a good champion. Because like if we go back to our knights, right? We have we have a 20. We have a 15. This 15, we have to recruit him though. It's 20 gold to recruit him. You know what the heck? Let's do it. He's good. He's good. Let's get him on the battlefield. Let's get him on the battlefield. But we got a lot of stuff we want to save up for. We want to commission an epic. We might want to go on pilgrimage. We might want to host a feast. We might want to go on a hunt. All these things are really good. Hunts are really good for getting prestige. Commissions are amazing. Commissioning epics are amazing for prestige. Amazing. You know what? I think it's time. Let's go to war. Actually, before we go to war with this guy, because that just seems like an obvious thing we want to do, we have a few people that need to be married. Grandson here needs to be married. Let's go look for people that have inheritable traits. Someone's got to marry this Amazonian woman. Someone's got to do it. Let's go. So what we're trying to do is, I think we're mostly by marrying people that have good inheritable traits, we're sort of seeding the, we're kind of just seeding, we're going to save, I think we'll save our daughter here. We'll save our daughter and we'll try to potentially use her to either gain an alliance or we could use her to recruit more people to the court or something like that. Oh, speaking of which, we need to go in and we've recruited those new people, right? So we need to go in here and replace this guy. Yep, let's replace this guy with the 21. Fantastic. That other dude's going to hate us, but that's how it goes. Let's replace this person here with the 18. Beautiful. So our council members are quite a bit stronger at their job now. No longer any negative side effects. They're so good at their job, there's not going to be any negative side effects here. This guy's not particularly good at his job, so there's a chance that we could lose piety from this. Yeah, there's some negative things that could come out of that. So it is what it is. I'd like to get a better bishopric there, but it is what it is. So we've figured that out, right? These guys are about to get married here in a second. That's done. Powerful vassals accept council positions. We don't care about that. We do want to make sure that they're happy and they don't like rise up against us. But we're gonna not worry about our daughter there. We know that we have a daughter in our back pocket. So momentarily we can do that as needed. This guy's got 350 troops. Right now we have 450. So we have a stronger army than this guy. I think he's a seducer as well. That's interesting. He's paranoid, he's stubborn, he's arrogant. Let's put this guy in his place. Let's go in for our claims here. Let's go. Let's go. 75 prestige to declare the war. The objective is this light blue highlight here. We could change, if we had multiple claims against this guy, we could do this to highlight that. But that is the only claim that we have against this particular character. It is showing this person is red, however. So they might sort of help out in the war or not. I'm not sure. But what we're going to want to do, we're just going to declare war here. This is the right, making sure that we have the right one. If we want to do a different kind of war, we'd have to click a different kind. Don't have a prestige to do that, though. There we go. He's going to be a little bit upset with us. But it's just how it goes. We're going to go to our military tab. And essentially, you can raise all armies here. The other thing you can do is we have a rally point down here. You can make more rally points. But I'm going to take the rally point that we already have, this red one here. Epic music, by the way, guys. Epic music. So hopefully that'll pass here in a second. We're going to move this rally point over next to the border with this guy so it's nice and close. I'm going to go here. I'm going to raise everybody up. Let's get everybody on the field. Looks like our knights are ready to go here. A 20, a 15. Those guys are really good. And plus, there's a good chance that we could have more people joining the court soon because we said that there was going to be 3 knights that were going to come visit soon. It would be worthwhile to have a court physician. In the meantime, we did end up inviting someone to our court, right? This was her, I think, the 19 learning. So I'm looking at learning skill. This person, why don't we appoint this person to be our court physician? So she's going to do a good job at making sure that our knights get good treatment and stuff when they get wounded. That's what she does. And if we get sick or anything like that, we're going to raise up the armies here. Looks like we have this guy organized. He's an organizer. He's got more movement speed. He's got If we retreat, we take less losses. Is he the best? He's the best we got. He's our best marshal. He actually is our marshal. So hopefully he doesn't die in combat. These other people here are behave. We could actually lead the armies ourselves. But in this case, this guy's a 21 martial skill. That's great. So that's this button over here to select a new commander. It's going to take 2 days to gather up all the troops. The knights drop in immediately. The standing army and the knights will teleport in immediately. It's the benefit of having a standing army. Everyone else needs to be like rallied to a cause. Think like in Lord of the Rings, right? When you call the banners, right? It takes a few weeks to get everybody all together. In this case, we have a small domain, so it's pretty quick. Ooh, our wife is pregnant. Fantastic, because she might have genius children. We're going to move over here, and we're going to be anticipating them to raise their army here in a few days. Yep, they're raising their army. Looks like we're going to engage them before they've even fully sort of rallied. Yep. Ooh, that was a decisive battle. We have stack wiped them. We've won a big battle here. So we have 40% war score from battles. So battles. So this is the game, right? If you haven't played a Paradox Grand Strategy game before, we rallied our troops, and these are our troops. We can move them around, and that's it. And they move around based on a certain amount of time. Like if we move them to here, it'll take them a certain amount of days, 15 days to get there. Predicted arrival is 15 days. Here they need to siege this down. This is their capital, that banner right there, and the flames. This says that this is a capital province, essentially. This is the enemy's capital, the enemy's main base of operation. You don't have to siege down churches and villages and stuff like that. In fact, you can't. You siege down the forts, the baronies, the actual castles. So here we have to siege this. So we click on this. We can see it's going to take about 8 months for this to siege. That's the max amount of time. There's going to be siege events that can happen where we can starve them out, cause disease and illness and stuff within the walls, and that can actually that can make this even go even faster. So we have our troops here. Our troops are sort of different compositions. We have the levies and we have the knights and we have the general, right? So essentially, this was an easy battle because we just sort of raised them up here. We intercepted them and we just sort of smashed them a little bit. Down here, this is where we can actually see the progress of the war progress. And war is essentially a big giant tug of war, right? Provincial claim on county of, this county, right? Right. Like we're using our claim to take this county. So this is the tug of war here between minus 100 and plus 100. Right now we're at a plus 40 because we've won battles. In fact, we won a big battle relative to the fact that our, it was a small army versus a small army. We wiped them out. War started 24 days ago. This is us, the attacker. These are our sort of estimated troops, and these are his estimated troops. So he's basically got no troops left. It does say that we are at war with Nice, so Nice could rally some of their troops over here, potentially. But for the most part, this will probably be over in about 8 months. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get war score from these other means. The war goal is a big way that you win the war, right? This is the war goal. This is what the war is for. So if we can control this, in fact, it's the only land that they own directly. So if we control this, it's going to go to 100%. We're going to instantly win. But if it was if we were fighting France, we'd want to make sure that we at least had the war goal because then this would tick up. It's a tug of war thing and that would be ticking upwards. Once we get this to 100%, we can enforce demands. They will not accept the demands until we're at 100%. Just that likewise, we cannot surrender until we're at minus 100%. It is an all or nothing situation unless you white peace, which basically a white peace essentially is just like, it's basically, it's not much. We could call these guys to war, but it would cost prestige, right? It says you can call your ally to war. Cost us 75 prestige. We don't want to spend our prestige on that. Heck no, we're winning this war on our own. Oh, another knight has arrived in our court. He's a 19 prowess. Fantastic. How expensive is he to recruit? 30 gold. Holy cow, these guys are expensive. I mean, he's very, very good, and that makes a big difference in these early wars when you don't have a lot of troops. And the levy counts are very small, but man, we're not making a lot of money. Especially while we're at war with our liege, we're losing money, and we have raised armies, we're losing money. But effectively, he does not have enough troops to actually siege this out. Once this siege falls, the war will be over, and we'll go up to 100%. A combination of the fact that we've won the battle, we'll be taking the war goal, and it's also their capital. So all these things will combine to a big, decisive victory in about 4 months at this point, right? So we've gotten some good siege events, it looks like. Starvation. So they're losing supplies here. Yep, they're running out of supplies inside the fort. and the people there are being more, we're closer than ever. Hey, we've become friends with this guy. Nice. He really likes us too. Let's go become friends with somebody else. Now, didn't we say it'd be kind of nice to become friends with this guy? Likelihood of becoming friends with this guy relatively low. It's a 42%, but we could certainly sway the guy. We have a 69% chance to make the king happy, so I think that makes sense. Let's make the king happy. Maybe he'll actually see that we're the rightful, I don't know, maybe he'll be able to somehow shuffle that off. Like, if he liked us more, I think he would have made us the Duke of Provence, but apparently he just didn't decide to do that. A few months the war is going to be over. These guys just sit here and they siege, and that's all there really is to it. If these guys had enough of an army, they'd come and try to break up the siege, right? If we had more troops, we could have them split off and doing multiple different sieges at a time. In fact, we have actually captured, an important prisoner that's adding to it too, but we already have over 100% with everything else. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that prisoner and we're going to ransom this prisoner because it actually shows up in the current situation. So we're going to have this guy pay for this prisoner first. Otherwise, he would be returned at the end of the war. So we're going to make sure that we get paid for that guy. Nice. So that goes up to 30. We might actually be able to swing in here and get another knight in our court, right? With that extra pay. Let's do it. Let's just keep getting better and better knights. That's gonna make things so much easier. We're gonna enforce demands. Oh, they're considering the ransom. Okay, he accepted the ransom. Nice. Hey, we have a son. Our son, the genius. There we go. We have a son that is a genius. So what we need is our other son to die, ideally. So we'd like this guy to be our heir, but unfortunately he's not going to be our heir until the other kid, but he is second in line. He is second in line, so if we could put this guy in, continually put this guy in precarious situations, it could be a good thing. In fact, I'm actually kind of wondering what would happen if we took this guy and we took this group here. And we sent these guys into here to fight just mano-a-mano, knights versus knights. This is a little cheesy, but I want to see if what happens here. If we're basically what we've done is we've split off our units. We've just taken some knights, and they're going to come up into the hills. They're just going to have a little 5v3 battle, knights against knights. Okay, it was fine. We won. Let's enforce the demands. So, our son did not die in that battle. Family members can get married. Oh, who's this? Oh, it's a granddaughter. It's a different house. It's not our dynasty. It's not our dynasty. But we could still use our granddaughter to bring in people from around and about. Yeah, these are not our dynasty. I don't know what to do with them exactly. Yeah, they're their own thing. They're their own thing. So we don't really care too much about them. We'll just kind of leave them in the our back pocket here. Okay, it looks like we actually control these 3 provinces. Booyah. I wonder if we are not the Duke, who actually controls the Duchy of Provence title. This guy does. But he's over here. The heck? He's the Duke of Provence, but... Oh no, he actually moved over to Nice. He moved over to Nice. Cool. So he's over here now. Now, ideally, what we could do is we could usurp that from him now. We are more rightfully the Duke of Provence than him, based on the fact that we control more of Provence than him. It would cost us 250 to actually do this. I'm worried that if we attack him without getting a claim on the duchy, that's what we could try to do. We could try to actually just war for it and take it from him. We could try to war for it and take it from him, but to build up a claim on that, it would require... We'd have to get lucky, right? A possible side effect here is that we get a claim on the duchy. It's just a side effect. It's not guaranteed. We kind of need to usurp it, but that's going to be very expensive economically. But it could be we could... I don't know. Maybe we just kind of hang out until... And maybe we start working on Maybe we attack Savoy or something, right? We could just sort of work our way up here. Although Savoy's relatively strong. They have 800 troops. We had other claims, did we not? We have a claim on this territory over here, and which is actually owned by the King of Italy, so I don't know if we're going to be able to do much with that. We have a claim over here that's we'd have to attack King Charles II. That doesn't sound like a great idea. We could try to actually go for Genoa. We could take the county of Genoa potentially. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. We're just kind of going with the flow right now. We're kind of going with the flow. Realistically, I'm wondering, what is the succession here? He doesn't like us. He wants us to be his marshal. The thing is, like, I'm actually kind of wondering, like, what if we got rid of this dude? What if we got rid of this guy? His son would take over, but how would that sort of, like, what would the chain reaction to that would be? What's the likelihood of taking out his heir? 5%? Why so low? Why so low? I don't know. I think we do this. I think we try. Let's give it a go. Let's give it a whirl. So what we could do is we could go to our court. We could actually, now that we're actually working on... Oh, we have a 16 here. How cheap are you? You know what? I think we're going to pause on that. I think our knights are already pretty good. We already have a 20, 19, and 16. We have some of our sons and grandsons in here. Yeah, we're gonna trade off our grandsons, though. They're not as important now that we've had our own son. Realistically, though, it could be that we don't want to have too many kids. Like, she might just pop out another kid. Because now that we have this son, it's like, that's kind of good enough. You know what I mean? It's like, check. We got the check there. Oh, nice. She's actually giving us enough stewardship skill that we're actually up to another... We have another holding. We can hold up to 6 holdings directly. One thing we could do with our holdings is we could actually build buildings. We can go here and construct buildings, and this can increase... This is a snowball, economic snowball effect, right? We can build farms and fields and build up our... something we can do with money. I mean, there's so many different things we can do with money, right? We just need more money. So how do we get more money? Well, we invest in our country and we build up those buildings, right? We could have this guy working on taxes, but quite honestly, it just doesn't, like, it doesn't really result in like a huge amount of change. 9% on top of such a small number ends up being a small number. If our subjects were happier with us, like, they don't like us right now. If these guys liked us more, they would contribute more in taxes. So what we could do is we'd have this guy working on domestic affairs, potentially. Instead, how big is our levy count now? Oh, we're almost up to 1,000 in levies. Okay, that will give us some real flexibility. We could attack Savoy, right? Savoy is part of the larger kingdom of Burgundy. That could be of particular interest to us. Right now, we don't have any direct claims on Savoy. So the map is showing kind of weird. If we zoom out, it'll show we are still part of Italy, but it's showing we are the Count of Provence. This is the Duke of Provence. It's weird because he's smaller than us, right? Oh no, we failed to sway the king. Failed to sway this guy. Here's something interesting, actually, that I'm remembering. This is a little bit nuanced, but there's a... is this a diplomacy thing? No, I think it's a stewardship thing. In the stewardship section, there's something called Meritocracy. Use the claim the throne against your liege. So our liege is the Duke of Provence. We could claim the Duke of Provence with this CB, but we'd have to change our lifestyle focus to over here. And this could be good economically, right? Because these are the lifestyles that could help us boost our economy or invest in our country and stuff like that. But we could sneak into there and try to get this done. It's not our character's specialty, right? It's not our character's specialty, but it's something we could work towards if we don't feel like it's that important to finish this out. I don't know. Maybe we at least want to get a couple of these perks or two? I don't know. Essentially, we're just kind of like going with the flow here. We're making money. Oh, we could probably invest in, we could commission an epic. That would give us a lot of prestige. We do need more prestige. Although, actually, it's 50 to do this as a base. We gain a certain amount of prestige just for doing it. We gain more prestige per month for 10 years, which is fantastic. But I believe it's going to cost us even more. It's going to cost us even more once we start the event. So we're going to want a little bit more stockpiled before we do that. A dupe to scare a local mystic, the dubious morals in a fabricated omen. Perfect. So this is ways that we could possibly increase or manipulate the likelihood that we'll be able to successfully murder this guy. Right now it's only 90%. It's pretty low. Before the mystic leaves for the Duke's court, there is but one question. Will my false omen be one of fortune or one of doom? So if he has a bad omen, it's actually a moderate health penalty, and the murder scheme will gain progress. Or he'll grow more vigilant. What can happen here is if he has a good omen, he'll get good health, but he might let his guard down. So we can kind of choose how we want to kind of think about this. But let's give him a bad omen. Let's give him a bad omen. What we could do, and to help, because 19% is not very good. So we can go here, we could actually potentially recruit people to join the cause, but none of these people want to be recruited. Can't even bribe, we don't have enough money to bribe them, right? We don't have enough money to bribe any of these people. If we had more piety, we could actually be asking the Pope for money, and that could be a big gain, which honestly the pilgrimage could tie into that, right? If we go on pilgrimage, we can gain piety that way. Our wife is pregnant again. That maybe, honestly, maybe the pilgrimage might be the most important thing that we could actually save up for right now. There's so many different things to do. But for the most part, we've expanded our borders. We're scheming against our liege. We are moving and grooving right now. We're saving up our different currencies and thinking about the ways that we can spend those as we go forward. Everything's looking good. We've increased our strength by about 50%. Our armies are quite a bit larger and more powerful. We're just building up those levies right now. Everything's looking good. Everything's looking good. We're just kind of chilling, letting things happen. And events are starting, and we can start to sort of make different choices and get little perks and benefits from those. So thanks everybody for watching this episode. As this sort of very slow, what we're trying to build is the contextual understanding of the systems, right? To allow people to play the game themselves and understand the game themselves. We're not necessarily that interested in teaching you how to play the Count of Provence. Who cares? You need to be able to play whoever you want to play, right? So what we're doing is we're just going through the process, right? We're trying to teach the process of playing as a Count, playing as a Christian character, playing in this region of the world, however you want to think about it, right? It's a process, right, of going through and making decisions and evaluating the ecosystem and stuff like that. So thanks everybody for hanging out during this episode. I will see you guys in the next one. If you guys have questions, please leave those down below, or even comments and suggestions and feedback and stuff like that. I love to read that stuff, and I respond to nearly all of it. Thanks, guys.